魏晓彤同学为我们进行论文汇报。
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Karen from 8B, and today I'm going to do my graduation project presentation on what is human cloning and should research in this area be continued. First, let's have a look at the two pictures above. These two pictures are pictures of twins. Why would I have pictures of twins in a presentation which is about human cloning? The reason is because human cloning and twins have a relationship. In other words, human cloning can be said as the artificial twinning. Moreover, the definition of human cloning may also be having a genetically identical copy of another human. Now I'm going to talk about when did it start developing. During the 19th century, farmers wanted to grow wealthier. Therefore, they started cloning plants. And during the 20th century, people started cloning animals. Famous examples may include Ian Wilmot's Dolly the sheep in 1997. Although they succeeded to clone these animals, they all led to a failure because of their short telomeres. And during the 21st century, people started human cloning. The first example may be seen in 2003 by a female scientist named Bridget Boisselier. Due to the reason that Bridget Boisselier is afraid of the different opinions towards Eve. Therefore, we don't know who she belongs to or where she is. But we believe in Bridget Boisselier because she tends to explain the process of cloning Eve. And now I'm going to give a brief explanation on the process of human cloning. As seen in the picture, the process of cloning Dolly and also cloning humans is basically very similar. Focusing on the right-hand side of the picture, you can see that there are two patients on top. For the first patient, we will remove the skin cells from the first patient and remove DNA from fertilized egg from the second patient. And then we fuse the eggs together, and the early embryo will be created with donor's DNA. And later on, we will put the early embryo into the donor's womb. And alas, you would eventually have a clone. And now I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of human cloning. For the advantages of human cloning, it is that it may be a solution to infertility. According to my information, 15% of the American population is actually infertile. With human cloning, they can have their own children. Secondly, you can provide organs for transplantations. Many diseases can't be cured with just medicines, pills, and injections. Maybe some might need organ transplants. With human cloning, you wouldn't have to search frantically for just some organs. In fact, you just have to request and you'll have an organ. Thirdly, you can modify the genetics of your children. Who wouldn't want their children to be as smart as Einstein and as sportive as Michael Jordan? With human cloning, you have the technique to choose the genetics and characteristics of your children. As for the disadvantages of human cloning, it is that it may cause the clone to have short telomeres. Many people don't know the importance of telomeres. Short telomeres may cause people to have short life expectancy or even early deaths. And secondly, it is a waste of lives. According to my information, Dolly the sheep took 272 attempts until it succeeded. If we have to clone a human, wouldn't it take more attempts? Thirdly, the risks may be created while cloning a human. According to my information again, human cloning and man-made fertilizations is actually very similar. It would increase the chances of miscarriages and premature births. Fourthly, for the ethical aspects, which many people are worried about, people think that they prefer natural fertilizations more than man-made fertilizations. And for last, it is an imbalanced society after we have human cloning. Imagine we have 10 millions of Einsteins who are way smarter than we are, as we have normal brains, might be discriminated. And now, as for conclusion, although human cloning may sound really interesting, and we now know the pros and cons of human cloning, it is not for us as peasants to decide whether human cloning should be continued or not. In fact, it should be left for the scientists to decide. Thank you.
谢谢魏晓彤同学。
Next, we are very happy to have Michelle Kwong of 8B here to present her project. Michelle,